another time.
We're gonna have to do 2 rows here. I'll get back here.
I think 9.
This many senators together. You gotta have a bigger stage.
Well, maybe I go over here, over there.
Go ahead. No, I'm in
No, I'll go for here.
Yeah, green and green.
Here we go.
everybody up here.
Because I'm shorter.
All right, well, good morning. Thank y'all for coming out this morning. As you can see, our numbers have grown significantly, and we're here this morning, Mark Warner and I, to once again reaffirm the position that we have maintained over the last year and discussions that we've had, and to show our support of the select committee of 12 individuals, 6 Republicans and 6 Democrats from both bodies in the United States Congress, and to urge those folks to look at the big picture and to look at what it's going to take to send the right kind of message to the marketplace when it comes to the issue of retiring the $14.5 trillion debt that this country is facing. I think it's pretty obvious when you look at this group that's up here. We're not only bipartisan, we stretch on both sides of the spectrum in our respective conferences. That's how serious we know the issue of this debt is, and we know that this debt is choking this country. And we feel that it's time to check our political hats at the door and to step up and do what is the right thing for the American people. We are in total support of the committee itself and the structure of that committee and the power and authority that's been given to that committee. And it's our purpose as a bipartisan group of members of the United States Senate, which now exceeds a third of our membership. We have 34 members who have
36
we have signed on, and we had 2 more added this morning. You'll have a list of all of the 34, plus Senator Hutchinson and Senator Klobuchar have been added as of this morning. And there are a number of others that I'm sure are going to be added to the list as we move forward. But it's been great to work with my friend Mark Warner. He's been a terrific partner. We have been at this for well over a year now, and I think it's pretty obvious that there's an awful lot of groundswell in the United States Senate for doing the right thing. And the right thing is putting all the issues on the table that are necessary to deal with this issue of retiring this debt. Mark?
Well, thank you, Saxby, and thank you for all you've done. We've got a lot of folks up here. We want to give a number of folks a chance to talk. You know, we've seen the Simpson-Bowles Commission. We've seen the Rivlin Domenici. We've seen what the so-called Gang of Six put together. We kind of know the framework of where the solution lies. We want to say to the super committee, if they step forward, we got their backs in terms of taking on these tough issues. And I just want to thank the folks from both sides of the aisle who've stepped up on this. Clearly, we've got to have a plan that addresses our spending issues, our revenue issues, our entitlement issues, and I think we've got the framework of that. And you know, I know if he stepped in here yet, Senator Durbin and Senator Coburn, who both brought special things to at least our discussion. Senator Durbin, particularly, making sure that we protect those low-income folks with some of the new poverty numbers that are out. Senator Coburn, and making sure that we've got real enforcement mechanisms. We think that we can suggest some ideas, but it's going to be up to the super committee and a whole group of folks who've got some great ideas behind us. With that, I'll turn it over to somebody else who's been very active in this effort, Mike Johans, from a great former governor from Nebraska.
Yeah, we like that.
Well, it is great to be here with you today. I think it's obvious to everyone we are here today not because of party registration. So much of what happens in Washington results in our appearance at a given event or news conference because of our party registration. That is not the case today. We really are here today as members of the United States Senate, but mostly we are here today because we are citizens of the United States, really the greatest country in the world. And I think I can say that we are collectively very worried about where our country is at from a fiscal standpoint. I supported the whole notion of the joint committee. I was a yes vote on that. But I'm also very mindful of the fact that if they get to 1.5 trillion or 1.2 trillion, whatever the number is, that is only a single step in the right direction. Everybody here believes that we have to do more. And we are here to support that effort. We are here to say, look, that is the right step, but think big. Take this as an opportunity to look across the whole budget, to look at tax reform, to look at how best to manage this issue. And you will have, I believe, a growing number of United States senators, not just the 36 that are represented today, but a growing number of United States senators who will step up and do the right thing for the country. So I'm very, very pleased to be a part of this. With that, let me, if I could, invite to the podium the chairman of the Budget Committee, Kent Conrad from North Dakota.
Thank you, Senator Johan.
Well, first of all, special thanks to Saxby Chambliss and to Mark Warner for once again leading this effort to bring people together, Republicans and Democrats and independents, to send a message that this is a defining moment for our country. We are on an unsustainable course. We are borrowing 40 cents of every dollar that we spend. The spending of the country as a share of our national income is the highest it has been in 60 years. Our revenue as a share of national income is the lowest it has been in 60 years. So clearly, we need fundamental tax reform. We need fundamental entitlement reform. We need to cut spending. We need to get on a more sustainable course. That is critically important for our economy. It is critically important for our national security. This is a message from a large group of senators to the special committee that we're with you. Be brave, be bold, go big. We know that the goal that has been set for them, $1.2 to $1.5 trillion, is a beginning, but it should not be the ending. We urgently need a package in the range of $4 trillion. We just had a hearing in the Senate Budget Committee this morning, bipartisan hearing, and the message from top economists in the country was that we need a package of about $4 trillion to really change the trajectory of this debt. So that's the message from this group. Go big, be bold, don't hesitate to do what's important for the country. Senator Ayotte.
Thank you, Senator Conrad. I want to thank the Senators Chambliss and Warner for bringing this group together. As a new member of the Senate, one of the things that's really struck me is that every single person standing here, every member of Congress, we have very high expectations for ourselves. And many of us are parents. I'm the mother of a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. We set high expectations for our children. And then we get to Washington and we settle for very low results. And we don't set the right expectations for ourselves. And the American people see it, and they know that we can do better, and they expect more of us. And that's why I'm so heartened to see such a large group of senators on a bipartisan basis coming together, saying to the super committee, let's set expectations much higher than where they are. I voted against the debt ceiling agreement. The reason that I voted against it is because we heard from economists, we heard from our rating agencies that the minimum that we had to do was $4 trillion in debt reduction over the next 10 years.